everyone, and welcome back to part 4 of my Advent Calendar crafting series. Today we have 5 new crafts in store for us, and just a reminder, if you want to craft along with me, there's a link to the Advent Calendar in the description. This first mystery bag contained a Perler bead Christmas ornament, and this kind of craft just feels perfect for the holidays to me because Perler beads bring back so many memories from my childhood. From deciding on your design, painstakingly placing each little bead, to ironing the beads and seeing them melt together, complete with picking up the finished piece before it's fully cooled down. The design they've chosen here is such a classic Christmas ornament. It reminds me of those ornaments that you pull from storage and be worn by your parents, that it's fragile and to be careful when hanging it on the tree. And just like that, the first project is done. This next surprise project is a painted rock, and right away I can tell this one is going to be really special. The moment I see the designs, it already feels pretty personal to me. Seeing the gnome and llama together immediately reminds me of my parents. My mom absolutely loves gnomes. She has them all over her yard and garden and even inside the house. And my dad's favorite animal has always been a llama, so this pairing just feels meant to be. Side note, has anyone ever heard of Emperor's New Groove? Love that movie. I'm starting with purple, which is my dad's favorite color. Then I'm adding blue and orange for the Florida Gators, since he's from Florida. I love when the colors alone can tell a little story. At first I used a lighter purple for the whole body, but pretty quickly I realized I don't love how it looks, so I switch it up and keep the lighter purple just for the ears and muzzle instead. That small change already feels much better to me. Next, I'm adding a light yellow base coat to the background. I really want the llama to stand out, and yellow feels like a nice contrast against all the purple. At this point, she definitely needs a name. Since my dad's name is Chris, and this is clearly a lady llama, I decided to call her Chrissy, and honestly, it fits her perfectly. I'm really happy with how she turned out. On the gnome side, I decided to replace the Christmas present with a cherry blossom, which is one of my mom's favorite flowers. I'm using warm colors here that really remind me of her. I also had a blue beard, partly because I wanted a pop of color, but mostly because it reminds me of a Smurf, another one of my mom's favorites. I start applying the base coat to the gnome, and then outline the flower to see if I can make it look a little bit more like a cherry blossom. I'm just kind of experimenting here and seeing what works. Now I'm trying to come up with a name for him. My mom's name is Kim, but since this gnome is a guy, I'm thinking something like Kip. It feels close without being exact. And honestly, I love how this turned out into a little tribute without me even planning it that way. It was like meant to be. This rock felt like such a sweet mix of both of them, and I think it might be one of the best projects of the episode. The next mystery bag is this mini penguin canvas, which is already really cute on its own. There's a suggested penguin design printed on the canvas, and while it's sweet, as soon as I saw it, I immediately started thinking about doing something a little bit different. I decided to take inspiration from an existing character that I've made before, the pink polka-dotted penguin from episode 3 in this series. He doesn't have a name yet still, but I already adore him, so it felt right to bring him back in this tiny format. I'm loosely sketching over the original design and just letting it guide the shape but not following it exactly. I want this version to feel familiar but still original in its own thing. Mini canvases always feel very low pressure to me. They're small enough that I don't overthink every decision and I can just enjoy watching it slowly come to life. Once I start adding color, it really comes together. The pink instantly changes the whole vibe. And then I start adding the red polka dots, which I think are really cute, but also, if I'm being honest, they kind of look like a disease at the same time. I'm choosing to ignore that thought again and trust the process just like last time. As I add the final details, he ends up feeling like he has so much personality for a little tiny canvas, and I love that. And honestly, for a surprise project, I couldn't have asked for a better one to bring back my little penguin friend with. Let me know what you think. Cute, cursed, or a little bit of both? The next mystery project is this button wreath, which feels very classic and simple, yet still Christmassy. I love projects like this because they're simple, yet still really satisfying by the end. I'm starting by straightening out the wire and threading on the buttons. They're all different shades of green, and I'm trying to place them in what I like to call a perfectly random order. I always want things to look balanced but not too intentional, which is honestly harder than it sounds. At this point, my daughter, who's almost 4, comes over to help me. Normally I'd be worried about the mess, but it was great to have her join me on this no paint project. Do you want to help me with this art project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do them?
Yeah. So pick a bead and put it on here.
This.
Okay, now put it on here. Perfect.
Again.
Perfect.
I know I want to slide down.
Don't do it?
Lose your arms.
Okay. Ooh.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Again. These are cool beads.
Yeah.
I have to play with them.
Once our little teamwork session wraps up, I add the last few buttons to finish things off. Now I'm trying to gently shape the wire so it actually looks like a wreath. This part feels a bit awkward. The buttons are not perfectly random enough to bend into circle shape, but I make it work. I spend a bit of time overthinking how to secure the wire, and for a minute I'm trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Eventually I realize that twisting the wire is just fine. I feel like crafting does that sometimes. I'll search for the right way to do something when the simple solution is usually just right there. Next comes the ribbon, which I also struggle with. I can never remember how to tie a bow unless it's already attached to something, like a shoe. I did end up following a tutorial which helped a lot, so I'll link that in the description in case you need it too. Once the bow is done, I just style it a bit and glue it onto the wreath to finish everything off. This was a really simple project, but I love that my daughter got to be a part of it, and it was also a nice break from all the painting projects that took longer. The very last mystery project of the episode is a diamond painted Santa, and I'm immediately excited about this one. Diamond painting is one of those crafts I never get tired of. There's something really calming about it. I start by peeling back the plastic that protects the adhesive, which is always so satisfying, just like peeling the plastic off a new microwave or mirror. I'm starting with the red diamonds first, since that's what the instructions suggest, and it's the largest section. Watching the colors slowly build up and turn sparkly is honestly my favorite part of a diamond painting. There's something really satisfying about how repetitive it is, placing each diamond one at a time and seeing the image slowly come together. It's the kind of craft that you can do while watching your favorite show and keeping your hands busy. Seeing all the red finished close-ups makes me so happy. That sparkle really starts to show here, and it already feels so festive. Once the diamonds are all done, I tie the ribbon to finish it off, and with that done, it's ready to hang. I think this was the perfect project to end the episode with. It's simple, calming, and really satisfying to watch come together. Let me know which project of the episode was your favorite. And with that, let's take a look back at all the projects. First was this Perler bead ornament. Next was the Llama and Gnome painted rock. Third was my polka dot penguin portrait. Second to last was the button wreath. And lastly was the diamond painted snowman. Thanks everyone. Bye!
Okay.
So much better. Thank you.